I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
Oh, give me fucking truth, baby! Come on! Let's go!
How have I been this successful in life?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the MMA Analysis Podcast. A little late. Apologies. We had to get, the political stuff out of our systems before we went live. Make sure we don't get too crazy on here. Say anything that's going to get me arrested once we become the 51st state and all, But we made it. We did it. We're here for the bigliest show you've ever seen. There were fights last week. We're not going to talk about those. They sucked. There's fights this week. It's allegedly a pay-per-view. It's okay-ish, I guess. I'm flying out to the beautiful lands of California, Halifax. So we're going to see how it goes with a Ankalaev main event in Atlantic time with daylight savings coming. That's just and I've got a flight. I think my flight leaves at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. So we're going to see how that all stacks up and what we actually watch. But it could be an absolute fucking disaster for me. But I'm a trooper. We'll be there. The other guys, they're troopers too. Sean, how you doing? You're struggling right now.
I'm always struggling. I just basically every other week I'm sick now because I have a child, and I know we busted Lance's balls forever about him getting sick all the time, and now I'm paying it back. I'm getting paid back for that. So
I'm the only one with any intellectual consistency on this podcast. You people, you can believe in me. Never gonna get sick because of the kids.
Smart man. Very, very smart man. But yeah, things are good. Enjoying life as a stay-at-home dad for a little while longer. So it's good.
There you go. Living the dream. If the Oilers could win a game, you'd probably be feeling a little bit better too. So
yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Hey, I feel your pain with that. The Rock just went full fire sale mode last week. Disaster of a season. Goalie's gone. Former defensive player of the year's gone. It's we're gonna see. So,
hole and pin.
Yeah, we're gonna see. But hey, I'm flying out to watch an NLL game in a new venue this weekend. So the Rock are in Halifax. They get good crowds there. Our buddy Paul Shagg's gonna be at the. Not just am I potentially going to watch some UFC with him, but he's going to be at the Thunderbirds game for a bachelor party or something as well. So,
only Canadians,
you folks, everybody's converting over to a Lax fan. Wesley, I know you've been following your Bellarmine Knights closely. They suck this year. How does that make you feel?
Watching my cat's best player go down for the rest of the season with a wrist injury and kind of running any shot at a decent run this March kind of hurt, but yeah, been good. Things good around here. Back off of I'm half a stay-at-home dad anymore. Back to doing a little bit of the non-work I do, but yeah, weather's wild in the Ohio Valley like usual, and hopefully we have some better fights this weekend than last weekend when they were just eye gouging and dumbass judging. Probably get that, and yeah, I'm just gonna dream tonight about how Dana White's gonna save boxing. That's gonna be in my dreams tonight.
Hey, they just need to get that silly alley act out of the way, and then it's smooth sailing from
Golden.
there. You know, the fighter's going to be treated with the respect that they deserve. They're going to make all the money in the world. And
Canelo fighting Tommy Coughlin from Ireland for $200K and no pay-per-view points. Could you fucking imagine? You'd you imagine walking into like Tank Davis and like, you're fighting Ricky Bobby for $50K, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the TKO belt is on the line. What a joke.
The 3 letters don't matter though. It's not 3 letters. It's the belt paid for by good old Turkey. That's what matters. So we'll see how all of that goes. Not well, spoiler alert, but we'll come to that when the time comes. We dabble in a little bit of boxing talk here and then. Speaking of which, I guess the more important fights last week was the boxing with like Tank taking a knee in the middle of the fight, no knockdown, and then it was a draw, and that would have changed everything. Wow.
Literally, I've watched boxing since I can remember, sitting on my grandpa's lap watching boxing with him, and I can never remember a dude taking a knee because he got some hair grease in his eye. Not a point was taken. They let him wipe his face off. They let him hang out of the ring, wipe his face
They
off.
didn't even let Cejudo wipe his face.
Timeout.
No point.
Just take a timeout. Yep.
No stoppage. He just came right back in and started fighting again. Then you go to a draw, and the dude that literally like won that fight gets robbed by a 9-point taken in a fight that he should have won anyway. Like
Just
he
straight
beat
up,
Tank. I've never seen anything like that in like fucking 40 years of watching boxing.
Anyway, we know you folks aren't here for exclusively our tremendous insights in the sweet science. So we'll move on to UFC 313, taking place this weekend from Vegas, but not a warehouse in Vegas, an actual arena in Vegas. Oh, did you guys see that one of the TKO dudes is like, yeah, we'd make a whole lot more money if we just posted every card in the A, and you can't even tell that
On TV, you can't tell the difference. Yeah, the fighters don't fight any different, and it doesn't make it any better when
dude, like how many like lies can you tell in one sentence? We'd make more money if we took it out of here, and you can't tell a difference on TV. Both just absolute bullshit fucking lies.
eyes turning brown with all the bullshit he was spewing.
It's wild, bro. It is wild.
We got a couple interesting-ish fights at the top of the cards. Light heavyweight title on the line, rematch in what should be an entertaining fight again, and then it kind of goes downhill from there. But we'll get through it all for you. 12 fights on the card. We're gonna kick it off in the middleweight division. Ozymandias Diaz taking on Jordan with a D. Santos.
Dior.
Jordan?
Dior.
Is this dude, what is he, like Norwegian or some shit? Sean?
I don't know. He's allegedly from Brazil, but I guess they do some weird stuff with some spelling. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much here. I don't think this Diaz is very good. I'll pick the Brazilian, younger guy. Middleweight and light heavyweight and heavyweight for that matter are all just fucking dumpster fires. So I would assume neither of these gentlemen will be very good, and this will be a fight that nobody cares about. But I'll pick the favorite.
That is fair. Wes?
Yeah, it looks like this Diordan cat got signed off of last year's Contender Series off of one of those decisions. So if I remember most of last season, it was some horrible fight where a dude got a decision win, got a contract because he's a warm body. Sazi Diaz guy's really bad. The Zhang dude fucking destroyed him last time out. I think both these dudes are bad, and they're going to be really bad in this fight. And if I was to play anything, I was looking at the over. It's plus money. I just don't think these dudes are any good. If this Ozzy Diaz guy doesn't get obliterated by some dude that can't obliterate fucking paper bags at the Apex, this probably is a 15 minutes of a horrible fight. So lean over. No bet for me. I'll pick Jordan, whatever the fuck the Brazilian's name is.
DeAndre Jordan?
I'd pick DeAndre Jordan over both these guys.
Me too. He can use his reach, right?
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, very little to say. I mean, we saw Diaz get smoked on Contender Series by old future champ Joe Pyfer. Then got smoked in his actual UFC debut against Zhang. So not looking like he necessarily belongs at this level. And as Wes said, DeAndre Jordan with an uninspiring decision win on Contender Series to get into the UFC, and it's taken almost a year for him to actually get a fight. There's just nothing that I want to do with as far as this fight goes. So we're gonna move it right along to the bantamweight division. Two guys that people have probably heard of. Chris Gutierrez and John Castaneda. Does that make it a good fight these days, Sean, that we know who both these guys are?
It's better than the slop that was before it, I guess.
There you go.
So technically this is a featherweight fight. This is a late notice fight, and they're just putting them up. Yeah, so they don't have to cut as much weight.
Yeah.
You know, like looking at it, I think it's a bit surprising that Gutierrez is, you know, it's basically a pick'em. Those calf kicks that he has are just absolute game changers. I know we hate them; they're garbage, but he lands a couple of them, and it fucks people up, especially guys that have no interest in checking them. There is some concern though. He's got taken down twice in 3 state fights by some guys that probably shouldn't take him down. Kwang Lee, Song Yadong, and Haile Alatang. So Castaneda's not an amazing wrestler. He does have some takedowns in the UFC, so that is a bit concerning. But I'll pick Gutierrez to calf kick his way to a decision.
Wesley.
Yeah, I mean, I might end up looking like an absolute idiot here, but I love Gutierrez in this fight. Like, they're up at 145. They're giving him 10 pounds. Like, Gutierrez is going to be the bigger dude in this fight. This guy's going to be jacked. Watch. He's going to be fucking oozed up. Look, he's gotten taken down by guys that go for takedowns. That's their game plan going into most fights, that want to take dudes down. Castaneda will sit there and just have a dude on the cage and try to box and shit and fake takedowns and shit and stuff like that. Gutierrez is going to eat that guy's legs up. I just think the talent, the pure talent disparity here is kind of big, man. Gutierrez is not that bad, man. Like, not far back, he was fighting the upper echelon of this division, like knocking on top 10 fights and shit, man. So I think this line's wild, man. Gutierrez is like, he's plus 100 at bet 365. Like, I don't get that at all. I figured he'd be more like minus 200 in this fight at even money. This is probably going to be about my biggest bet on the card.
Yeah, I guess this is one of those ones that's impacted by the short notice quite a bit, because like Gutierrez was originally supposed to fight on this card, and then the guy moved to another card, and then Castaneda was supposed to fight Douglas Silva, Dion Drugs, right? Last week, and that got canceled. And it's just like a lot of weird circumstances. So maybe people are just kind of uncertain because of that. But I kind of agree with what you guys said. The calf kicks suck, have ruined MMA, but they win fights, and few people are better at them than Chris Gutierrez. So it's tempting to toss a little bet on there.
I'm gonna trust Factory X, that gym, a lot more on a short notice fight too, out of a dude fighting out of Minnesota martial arts. And like Brock ain't walking through that door, dog. Like who was our boy up there, Brad? Fucking the Minnesota goddamn
Brock Larson, the other Brock.
Brock Larson. There was another dude too that was like a 205er white guy tank that trained out of that gym too up in Minnesota. I can't remember. There's another guy too that was a UFC
It'll
dude.
come to me.
Yeah, but I just that gym against who's Castiana's coaches and shit. Like I trust Saif Saud like making a short notice game plan for Gutierrez a lot more.
Yeah, like what you were saying is kind of why I think it shouldn't be too far off of the minus 200 or something that you lined it at initially. A lot of UFC fighters these days, they're in the gym pretty regularly. You don't see a ton of dudes doing the Jamal Hill,
Patty Penwood
rampage puff up between fights.
Yeah, the classic Ricky Hatton, the god of fuck that gym when I'm not in camp.
So yeah, kind of like Chris Gutierrez here. We'll see. Next up, I guess also staying in the featherweight division, but not a catchweight. We've got Francis. Wait for it. The Fire Marshall. Wow, what an original nickname.
I mean, they don't have too much going on in old Jersey. They're not going to get that creative. So he went with the tried and true.
You gotta
it would be even worse, or it wouldn't be so bad if, because it was on a Contender Series fight that BSing like came up with it. There's been other guys with the last name Marshall in the UFC that have had the nickname Fire. It's not unique, Mike. Just chill.
Not original.
Just a little bit, please. And he's taking on Marion Santos. Sean, do you think Marion Santos is on more drugs than Marion Jones?
He's on the Brazilian yams. I don't think Marion Jones was on the Brazilian yams. She was on some other.
She was on the fucking Balca. She was on the Barry Bond shit.
Yeah.
She's on the best shit that's ever existed.
The number seems a little bit wide. I know Santos has a bit of height, but Marshall's been in there in the UFC with some good fighters. Like the losses to Gomez and Delgarian aren't that bad in hindsight. But this guy is hyped up. These guys are, it's wild. These guys are, one guy's born in 99, the other one's born in 2000. That's craziness.
We're getting the first fight on this card.
Coming up right away.
Two dudes born in the 2000s is the first time ever. That just
Yeah, and this matchup just missed that as well. So, the pick's going to be Santos, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bit closer than what the odds say.
Wesley, you've been watching this shit longer than these dudes have been alive. What do you think?
Oh, man, I want to go have a drink. Yeah, Sean is onto something here. I've seen quite a bit of Santos because I still watch that shitty Tough Show, and I think the kid's pretty talented, but he's fought like next to nobody. The last loss he had against Dan Argueta is gonna be like the kind of fight he's gonna face here. against a guy that does what Dan Argueta does better. And at a line like this, this is just too wide. I like Santos. I like his future. I think he's a pretty good fighter. This is a tough out, man. And Marshall is plus 260. That's way too wide. I'll be taking a little bit of Francis Marshall in this fight.
Kind of thinking that myself. Marshall will grapple. He doesn't have like a diverse grappling game, but he's relatively tough, good cardio, will keep doing it. And as Wes said, that kind of describes Dan Argueta, a guy that couldn't really hang around in the UFC, but could wrestle a bit, grapple a bit, was kind of tough. So I think this is closer than the line indicates. I don't really want to bet Marshall, so if I'm going to do it, I think it's going to be on the sub prop at like 9 to 12. I think when I just clicked on the old fight odds, and that's pretty tempting to me because I know that he can get to guys' backs and choke them out, and we'll see if that's a possibility here. But probably going to pass. Marshall's going to be a Toutmaster pick, and maybe if I'm desperate for something, if I'm watching, we'll take some Marshall sub. Welterweight division up next. The Great White, Alex Morono, still kicking around. This guy was definitely born before 2000.
Did they really need to give him a 50 clean test jacket? Like, we all know he's clean, bro. You know, if there was one guy we can look at and be like, yeah, probably clean, it's fucking Morono, dude.
I hope they bring Tony Puddings out of retirement just so they can give him a clean test jacket. Just so we can all be sure, you know, just for that peace of mind. Sean, he's taking on Carlos Leal. What you got here?
It's wild to think that Alex Morono has been fighting in the UFC for over 9 years now. That's time flies.
I feel like I've watched him for another 9 years before that as well, down in like
LFA, yeah. LFC,
Legacy, back then that was a thing.
Yeah, he was doing it before the
before it was LFA.
Yeah, it was LFC before they merged. This number, like, Morono's fought obviously much tougher competition. Recently he's obviously losing to that competition more than he's winning, but I don't know, man. Like, this guy's minus 800 to Morono. Like, this guy looks like he has big power, and that is kind of Morono's kryptonite. If you do have big power, you can crack him and put him away. He hasn't really been cracked recently, and he's fought some heavy hitters. Fought D-Rod, Nico Price, Joaquin Buckley. Like, none of those guys were able to drop them. I mean, officially anyway. I can't remember if there was knockdowns in those fights. That he's
getting stunned lately though. Like, he's starting to get cracked and stunned.
Yeah, and then his game just kind of shuts down. So Leal probably wins, but just minus 800 is wild to me. For a guy that's he's 30 years old. Like, I know he fought in PFL a bunch and stuff like that, but so I mean he has that experience at a higher level than most guys coming into the UFC, but that number just seems crazy to me. But like I said, Morono's been fighting in the UFC since 2016, so this might get his walking papers.
There, Wes.
Yeah, I know the main thing I remember about Leal and his UFC debut is he got one of the biggest robberies that we saw last year, the entire year. Like, it was crazy. No, Carlos Leal is a fucking tank and cracks. That guy's good, man. Like, he's a really good fighter. I still don't know about minus 800 here against a bet, but I think he's going to fucking knock out Morono at some point in this fight. He's going to catch him. Is Morono's chin going to continue to hold up? Because he's getting, like Sean said, he's in these fights with big hitters, but they're hitting him and they're not putting him out, but they're hurting him. Like he's getting hurt in fights. Then, like Sean said, his game shuts down. He ends up losing decisions. His last 2 wins are against Court McGee and Tim Means, 2 completely washed motherfuckers. Like dudes can more beyond washed than that guy is at this point. I can't lay minus 800 on Leal. I'm not even gonna pick Morono and Toutmaster though, because I do think he's gonna get smoked at some point in this fight. I like the under 2.5. I think Leal catches him. If he doesn't, there's still a possibility that he fucking gasses himself out in the 2nd or 3rd round trying to get Morono out of there. And who knows if Morono can catch something, some dumb sub or something like that. But I think Leal eventually finds something big in this fight and gets Morono out of there. So I'm just going to play the under, and there's no way you can lay minus 800 on Leal in this fight.
I think this is kind of similar to the Edmund fight that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Round 1.
I'm not as confident in it going the way that I thought that fight was going to go. But it seems like if Leal lives up to his minus 800 price, it's because he just goes out there and fucking smokes him. And he's a dude that he's got, 21 professional wins. I'd imagine half of them are first round knockouts.
Yeah, huge power. Huge fucking power.
So if he gets this done, I think it's early. I think it's violent. If that doesn't happen, then this is going to be a dogfight, and you're going to absolutely hate having a minus 800 Leal ticket in anything. So I think if you want to bet him, the round 1 is like plus 225. Like it's a big price for how big his money line is. So if you're betting Leal, I know Wes said he thinks it'll happen in round 1 or 2. Honestly, I just feel better about taking that plus money on round 1. I think he gets it done early because I do think that's what happens here. And we'll see how she goes. And that way you don't have to worry about losing the minus 800 because you already lost the minus 200 if it gets to that. So what's the harm? Middleweight division up next. Armin Petrosian taking on Brunno with 2 ends. Ferreira. Sean.
This one should be fun. These guys they're gonna bang. And obviously Petrosian is the cleaner striker, but I think obviously the power goes to Brunno Ferreira. Brunno Ferreira has 12 wins, all by finish. None of them have went over 1.5. They were given a boost on all 365 for Ferreira and under 1.5 same game parlay. I was able to get that and added some more to it to get a price of plus 344 for a unit. That seems kind of the way he's going to do it, because I think if Petrosian's able to, jab and make this a technical striking fight, then this fight is going to go long. And I don't think Ferreira is going to be able to win a fight that goes long. So his path to victory is to clip him. Petrosian obviously coming off that spinning back fist knockout from Shitmadov. So yeah, I like Ferreira to get it done.
Yeah, and lost in the fact that he got knocked out by the stupid stuff by Shitty Bullet. He was doing pretty well in good chunks of that fight. He is a good striker if it just turns into a slow-paced technical striking match. Wesley?
Yeah, I just think that's the problem for him, though. This is not going to be a slow-paced technical kickboxing match. If it was going to be that, then I'd favor him a lot more in this fight. But I think Bruno's going to bring it to him like he does everybody. I like Brunno in this fight. I like the under 1.5. I actually did lay a couple units though on the under 2.5. That's minus 150 at bet 365. It just kind of saves you if Brunno does what he did in his last fight, goes out there, can't get the finish, ends up slowing down tremendously, and Petrosian finishes him off in the fucking 3rd round or something like that. So Little under 2.5. I like the under 1.5 in that Brunno same game as well. I like Brunno in this fight. I think he goes out there and Petrosian can be hit, man. Like when guys don't just stand in front of him and do that technical kickboxing match, he can be hit. I think Bruno's going to hit him and get him out of there. So, like Brunno, really like the under 2.5. I just don't see how this fight goes 15 minutes at all.
Yeah. I worry a little bit about the under 2.5 if it's not getting there because of Brunno. Just because I have seen Petrosian like kind of sit back in fights and just outpoint a guy rather than going for it.
I will be definitely sweating that extra round if it gets past the 1.5 for sure. Like absolutely.
Yeah. That's going to be your struggle point is if Petrosian does start to take over this fight. But we have seen that Brunno can get cracked by not necessarily the biggest of shots as well. So, he doesn't have good defense. So
it's not out of the realm that Petrosian finishes this fight in under a round and a half on Brunno Ferreira, like straight up.
Absolutely. That said, I am siding with the aggressiveness of two ends Brunno in this one. I think he goes out there and again, this is another one where, money line, sure, it's plus money, it's fine, it's whatever. But all of this dude's wins are by stoppage. What's the TKO, Sean, versus the money line?
Plus 225 for TKO.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's just bad pricing right there. I think when I looked at the round 1 TKO at 365, it was plus 600, which is even
kinda
crazier to me because like I think he has 1 second round stoppage in his career. All of the rest of them are in the first round and usually pretty early in the first round. He goes after it and either gets it or he's fucked pretty clearly in the fight. So we'll see what happens there. But
we usually see guys like this and how they fight and their money lines and KOs being about 20-cent difference, and it's like over $1 in this case.
Yes. Yeah. There's not really any reason to think he wins this fight any other way than by TKO.
The only way is some fluke. He jumps on a side choke or something. He's got like one of those.
Drops him. But even if he drops him, he's in a flurry.
But it would be the flukiest shit ever if somehow he dropped him and jumped on a side choke in some way. But that would be your only worry, which is very, very small.
There we go. And like surprisingly, Petrosian has good sub defense. We've seen way better grapplers.
He's been on his back with some dudes on top of him in the UFC. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and the wrestling is dog shit. But he doesn't get subbed. He usually finds a way back up to his feet. So yeah, we like Pereira here. We like Pereira by TKO plus 225. Do we want to do a half or we want to just
do one
full?
I played it full, so whatever.
Normal consensus. Brunno Ferreira TKO plus 225.
Ooh,
let's go.
Going big.
Yeah. But all the rest of the stuff that people said, Brunno under 1.5. That same game, I just put $50 on it as well. Brunno round 1 TKO plus 600. I think that's worth like a little shot. All the sort of stuff that we talked about that goes along with the TKO, because if it happens, very likely to happen early. Yeah, we summed that up well. Flyweight division up next, so probably actually a good fight. Maybe like 3 good fights, or not good, but 3 entertaining fights in a row here. Joshua Van. He was a former future champ because he won like 2 fights at flyweight. which is tough to do, in fairness. Taking on Ray Saruya. No, Saruyu, sir. Sean, what do you got?
Yeah, this should be fun. Saruya obviously is a grappler first. Joshua Van's shown pretty good takedown defense in his career in the UFC anyway. He can get taken down. He's still a flyweight, but if Saruya is able to get some takedowns, he has shown that he is cool laying on people. I know he does have some interesting subs and stuff like that, but once you kind of get to the upper level, even if it is what it is at this point in the UFC, some of that stuff doesn't really work as well. So I like Goja's decision. I put that in a parlay. I think flyweights generally don't get finishes. I know both of these guys have a bunch of them, but
they always have a bunch of them until they get here.
Right? Yeah. So I think this is gonna be fun. There's gonna be a lot of grappling. I think when it's on the feet, Van should have a decent size, decent advantage there. But I think Ray Saruya is able to do fun things and induce grappling. So this can be a fun, close fight. I'll pick Joshua Van to get the decision win.
Wesley.
Yeah, this fight should be really fun, and I like Van's past couple of fights after catching that. Just getting caught by Charles Johnson, who literally couldn't catch an old lady running down the street. Catches Van just out of nowhere, but two great performances off of that against some decent guys, some decent competition. And I think Sean broke it down right. Like Van's going to have to fight off takedowns in this fight. I think his takedown defense is fine. This is flyweights. When they get taken down, they all get back up. They literally all scramble and get back up. Especially your upper echelon ones. Like Van is an upper echelon flyweight, and his hands are fucking tremendous. Like when this is on the feet, Van's got an advantage, man. His hand speed is insane. I think this does go 15, but I like Van in this spot. Van decision is plus 145, and I will be taking a little bit of that. I don't mind Sean's fight goes decision kind of parlay piece either, because of could be a close fight, but I think it absolutely makes the cards whichever guy wins. But I like Van here. I think Van continues his streak, and I think the guy's really good. Might not ever be a title contender in this weight class as deep as it is, but the dude could be a future top 10 perennial guy, man. He's 22 years old, like a ton of experience, a ton of big fights already at 22 years old. I think he's got a good future too.
Yeah, this is the fight that we referenced earlier, where both guys are born after the year 2000. So they're shockingly close to my combined their age. Way too close to mine. Don't feel comfortable about that at all. I like Van as well in this one. I just look at what we've seen from Saruya so far, and like going back and forth with Carlos Hernandez doesn't give me a whole lot of faith in you. Wasn't that Climaco guy he fought on the road to UFC, wasn't that dude in like ONE FC forever and just kind of like a journeyman over there? Mm-hmm. And he dropped him, and he needed to just like take him down a bunch of times and lay on him to win that fight. So yeah, people are pointing to some of his cool grappling sequences that he's done in the Japanese regional scene and Pancrase and Shudo and stuff like that.
Guys that are 11 and 18 and shit. Fucking
yeah, and honestly, it's just a different style of fighting. Like dudes are willing to roll around on the mat a whole lot more than they are at this level. So I think if he does get taken down, which he probably will once or twice in this fight, Van's going to pop back up. He's going to win the exchanges on the feet. Maybe there's a chance he finds a stoppage. We just haven't seen a whole lot of what Saruya is as the nail as opposed to the hammer. So there's always some question marks there. But I think Van's actually a pretty decent parlay piece. This isn't like the unknown flyweight coming in off a regional scene. We've seen Sarria a couple times, and I'm not super impressed. So kind of like Van here. If you're looking for something to parlay, there's worse options than him. Featured prelim, heavyweight division. We've got Atavan Kuniev taking on Curtis Blades. Sean, is this man going to put me to sleep, or is the other man going to put me to sleep in the fatties?
I mean, if the Atavan wins, I don't think he's going to put you to sleep. He's going to put Curtis Blades to sleep. As with most Curtis Blades fights, if he gets caught, he's going to lose. If he gets caught early on, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. Generally speaking, if he doesn't get caught early, then he will take over. The grappling will wear this dude out. Does Blades get a finish? I don't know if he's able to implement that grappling early, get actual ground and pound, not just lay on him. You might be able to get a finish, late in the second or midway through the third or something like that. But Blades has the tendency to just kind of lay on guys. He's kind of in a no-win situation here because nobody knows who the fuck this guy is. If he loses, if he gets knocked the fuck out, that's going to look real bad. I guess he should smoke him, but Blades doesn't really smoke anybody. So it's a tough one. I think he wins a decision and nobody's happy.
It's shocking how people don't know you when you're in PFL and you get cut from there because you pop for this dude is on more
all the
shit
good stuff
than Marion Jones. That's for sure. It's not better shit.
It still
but
likes
more
a
of
ton
it
of
for
shit.
sure.
Still looks like a bag of fucking cottage cheese. Get on the unbelievable.
Wes, what do we got here?
I think Blades wins this fight. I don't know if he gets a finish or if he lays on the guy or what, but he's gonna win this fight. I mean, minus 300. It's getting out of the realm that you probably want to do anything with it. I don't hate like Van Blades. I think that probably cashes like way more times than not. But it's hard to, I don't know. It's kind of hard to think how Blades gets this done if he does lay on him or this dude just says fuck it and gets out of there. Who knows? I've seen this guy. He ain't catching Blades. He wants to take Blades down. That's how he beat Pereira, was laying on him and shit. Like, this is a bad matchup for this dude, but no win situation for Blades. Like, what do you do with this guy anymore? Like, he works himself up and up and up, clipped, knocked out, works himself up and like this guy's beating jail man and shit. And it doesn't fucking matter because the shot gets. I mean, Aspinall like throws out a fucking Foreman jab and Blades is down, fucking withering on it. Like, I don't know what to do. It seems like Blades had got all the talent in the world though, man, and just doesn't have a heavyweight chin. Can he like talk to Arlovsky? Like, go see Arlovsky's surgeon. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever
they beard instead of your
beard. Go do the Turkish Arlovsky beard transplant. And maybe you'll get a belt one day.
Yep, I'm with you guys on this one. I think I'm gonna take a little shot on Blades by decision, just because we have seen Atavan lose a couple fights, and both of those have been by decision. We've seen, and one of them, Justin Willis, like a guy that fought in the UFC. I could see this fight going similar to something like that, where it's just a better wrestler that can take him down, not do a whole lot on top, and ride it out. So anything higher than plus 200 on Blades by decision, I think is kind of worth a shot. But I do not think that this fight is necessarily worth a shot to watch, because I don't think it's going to be all that entertaining. Coming up to start the pay-per-view, though, Bobby Green gets the people going because he's going to win at least one round of this fight and give away another round of this fight by doing something stupid. So what's going to happen in that third round as he takes on Mauricio Huffy Ruffy, Sean?
I don't know if we're even going to get there.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You guys have no faith? No faith in Bobby Green?
I don't have faith in a
Nope.
guy that just served up a triangle to fucking Patty.
Got
I don't-
smoked.
This is one... Guys, we've been doing this for long enough. You know that this is the spot where you
This is the spot.
actually bet Bobby Green.
Historically, this is the spot to bet Bobby Green. It's tough, man. The chin is not there. The brains, they come in and out.
Never
Never
been
been
there.
Sometimes they're there for a couple seconds, but yeah, I think he gets smoked here. It's hard. Like, this is a big step up for Ruffy, going from James Lawn Top to Bobby Green, but he is getting a Bobby Green that's a bit and a ways over the hill. So I don't know. It'll be a good name on his record if he can dispose of him how he should. I'm not gonna take that chance on Bobby Green. That's just too many red flags. I mean, there was parts of that Jim Miller fight where he was not looking amazing, even though he was murdering Jim Miller. So
That is part of the Bobby Green experience.
that is the
Sean.
Bobby Green experience. You can't do that against a guy like Ruffy. So picks Ruffy, probably goodbye finish. But I hope you cash if you do take the underdog, Brad.
Wesley, once a fight gets into round 2 or 3 against old Huffy Ruffy here, do we know that you can't get away with that shit?
I mean, even on Lawn Top, he slowed down a bit, but he was beating on Lawn Top like a lot. I mean, you say things about Bobby in rounds 2 and 3, but like when Patty Pimblett is smoking your ass and then choking you out, Jalen Turner's knocking you out cold in the first round. I think Ruffy's probably gonna fuck Bobby Green up here. The price is just kind of crazy for me. Bet 365 has an under 2.5 at -135. That's my plan this fight. I think you're hoping for Bobby Green to survive some shit here, and if he does get this into the second, the third, maybe. Ruffy's probably going to slow down a bit, and Bobby's got a chance at some sort of finish at that point as well. So I like the under 2.5, but man, I think Bobby Green's going to get fucked up here. This Ruffy guy is he's ridiculous in the first couple rounds, man. So we will get the full Bobby experience though, because Ruffy's coming forward. So you're going to get the full. Bobby's going to be talking. He'll get punched. He'll slap him. He'll get punched twice. So this is going to be a fun fight, guaranteed.
It's all
Lawn
part
Top
of the
did
plan.
Lawn Top did double up Ruffy in the third, by the way.
Yeah, he slowed down big, but like he threw a lot of shit on
Top outlanded him in the second and the third, despite getting dropped in the second. So that just screams Bobby Green experience.
Yep.
That is, I'm here for that. I'm in. Yeah, but we're taking some money line on
Can't
Bobby
be
Green.
with you this time. Can't be with you.
Obviously. Decision prices are creeping up there. Decision prices, but remember, it's Bobby Green. You got to look at this split or the majority decision because it's going to be shenanigans and the judges won't know what to think about what's going on in there. I think Bobby split is like 1,300 at Bet Online. It's probably going to be even higher at the legals when that comes out. I'm just saying. I tried to warn the boys. I tried to bring the data, the historical trends behind Bobby Green.
We're not getting
They
plus
don't want to
600.
listen.
We're not getting.
They're all in on their Huffy Ruffy guy here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next week.
We're not getting our plus 600 like Grant Dawson, Bobby Green. We're only getting like 350. But
Bobby Green and the over 1.5 same game parlay plus 550.
Now you're talking my language, Sean. Thank you. We'll throw the requisite $50 on that because how could you not? How could you not? Keeping it going here. Women's strawweight division, is that what we call this? It's not folded yet. This one is still around. Okay. Anyway, another former future champ, Amanda Lemos, taking on Yasmin Lucindo. I remember when she had a fight against another person that nobody knew, and it was for some reason on a main card, and people were like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing of all time!" And now,
are you seeing the future? Isn't that happening Saturday? Or against another chick nobody's ever heard of?
Anyway, yeah, that's Sean. The pay-per-view. This is the one that gets you to buy the pay-per-view, right?
Yep.
Hey, we always need a piss break fight on the pay-per-view, and this would be that one. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's Lucindo's obviously the much younger fighter. What, 15 years younger, something like that. Lemos is getting old. She can get taken down. Lucindo can grapple some, so I kind of get it. But Lemos has obviously fought the much better fighters, with some decent wins in there. So at a dog price, I think you take the vet, even though she's old.
Sean, did you see this comment by old Jeffy S in the chat?
The Bobby Green one?
Yeah, Bobby Green.
Oh, shit.
In on 3 cards.
Manifesting.
Manifesting. Brad's just writing it all down. It's all going down.
The stars are aligning. I'm just saying.
They are
Wes, I'm going to go grab another beverage. Make it at least long enough for me to get back.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a close fight. Lucindo, like Sean mentioned, way younger in the game. Split last time out against Marina Rodriguez. But I mean, before that, she's beaten Carolina and Polly Viana and Brogan Walker. Like, you're talking about the bottom of the barrel of this division when Lemos's last 2 losses have been against the 2 best in the division at this point, the champ and Handy Jobs, who will be fighting for that belt here very soon, with a devastation of Marina Rodriguez, a win over Mackenzie Dern, a win over the ghost of Michelle Waterson, still probably better than anything that Lucinda's fought. So, like, just doing MMA math at this price and shit, like it's absolutely dog or pass for me here. Think this probably gets to a scorecards, and I'd much rather be holding a dog ticket. And Lemos by decision is like sitting out there plus 250 in some spots. That's wild. So I'll take a little Lemos decision plus 250 or so, and hope I get to the cards with a plus 250 ticket in my hand over having a fave in a women's chick fight that lost a split decision to Marina Rodriguez last time, or won a split decision to Marina Rodriguez last time.
Yeah, whatever Wes said.
Perfect.
I don't care. It's going to be a struggle if I'm watching at this point to pay attention. I hope there is something else on another screen somewhere, but it makes sense. The much better fighter who has fought the much better fighters being a slight dog against someone because they're significantly younger, essentially, and are on a winning streak against a bunch of not good fighters. So, yeah, that's that. Lightweight division up next. Next three should be different forms of fun, but it's all entertaining in one way or another. Jalen Turner, Ignacio Bahamondes. This is the battle for we're way too tall and we should be like 2 weight classes heavier than we are, guys. You must love this fight, Sean.
People, yeah, this is people.
Love it. That is the reason why I like Jalen Turner in this fight. Bahamondes is not used to fighting his guy as tall or as long as he is, and Jalen Turner as tall as he is and is actually longer. I don't think Bahamondes has fought anybody as physical as Jalen Turner or has as much power as Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's got to get this done early, as in all of his fights. I'm hoping he learned a lesson after that dumb shit he pulled against Moicano. I don't know. This guy's record could look a lot different if some things went a little bit differently. I mean, he almost had Hooker out of there. He should have had Moicano out of there. What's this line if those little things go the different way? Obviously they didn't, so here we are. But Jalen Turner has big power. I think he is going to catch that chin of Bahamondes. We're going to see some beautiful tall guy defense, even though there's another tall guy on the other side of it. I played Turner TKO at plus 275 for 1 unit.
Do you think like a tall guy fighting another tall guy is kind of like being a self-hating Jew? You're just like, oh, I'm going to get this motherfucker. I'm going to get him.
Can only be one.
Wouldn't like 2 big, tall, lanky guys like that fighting each other just be like 2 horse jockeys fighting each other? It's kind of like the same thing, right? It's all perspective, right?
Watch.
I've seen one live. I've seen 2 jockeys fighting fucking on the track, drunk as hell. It's funny.
All my local tracks are harness racing instead of like I don't know what they call it, like
thoroughbred
racing. Yeah,
thoroughbred racing.
But yeah, I've only seen one like bad crash, but it makes me understand the primal appeal of NASCAR to folks like Wesley.
I hate harness racing. I hate that
you hate it?
I hate it. I hate that shit. The only time
it's a different vibe than the thoroughbreds.
Yeah, it's just a way. It's a whole different kind of racing. The only time I ever watched that was when I was really into betting horse racing and was actually good at it, and be home at the track at 11 o'clock at night in Los Alaminos. Fucking ran harness racing at like 11 o'clock at night, and I'd be at home ripped, betting on TVG, just fucking throwing money on shit. I had no idea what I was doing.
Love it. That moment when it clicks and you can finally read the book, though, then whew,
it's still it's about the same book, but
it's
like
still a crapshoot. But
yeah, it's way different than thoroughbred racing. Way different. Yeah, with these two bumps, I'm still when I look back at Turner, thinking about that Moicano fight, I still want to throw the fuck up because, like Sean said, just think he finishes that fight where he had Dan Hooker just finish that fight. He had Garmont like in that fight, like Turner had him, and I had Garmont parlayed in that fight if I remember right. And was not feeling good about it. Jalen Turner's very, very good, man. It's one of those dudes that just finds a ways to lose a fight. And I think he's fighting a guy here that I don't think he knows how to snatch victories like that. Turner hits like a tank, man. I guess Bahamondes has fought some kind of big hitters, but I don't think he's fought a hitter like Turner. I do think Turner needs to get at him early and get it done because he has that problem of fucking finding ways to lose fights. He seems like he gasses a little bit too when he goes for it and tries to get guys out of there. Man, Bahamondes has shown a pretty good fucking chin though. That kind of worries. He like gets cracked and kind of hurt, but his recovery is fucking stupid. Like just some of those zombie dudes that can just get back in a fight. He seems to have that. I like the juice on the under 2.5 here. It's minus 145 at bet 365. I played a little bit of that just to kind of save myself, but I like Turner here. I like the Turner TKO that Sean rode with. So I will be on Turner here, Turner TKO, and a little safety bet on the under 2.5, a little juiced. I think this goes under 1.5 though.
Who's the best guy that the Baja man has fought? Is it Ludovic Klein, who's like an inflated featherweight, or is it John McDessie, who's also like an uninflated featherweight?
Probably Medeski.
Anyway.
Probably Medeski. Like overall talented guy, probably Medeski, right?
I mean, Ludovic Klein is
he's decent.
He's better
in the
now,
UFC.
Like if those two guys fought now, but just like
now, yeah,
like that's what I don't get about this, because Turner has been in there and gone life and death.
Top of the division.
Moicano. He smoked Bobby Green, as we just talked about. Life and death with Dan Hooker. Life and death with Gamrot. Like, what? He's the dog here?
Yeah.
I don't quite get it. So, I'll go with Jalen Turner. I know that he has found some ways to lose fights, but he's found ways to lose fights against guys that are a whole lot better and a whole lot better at finding a way to win fights than the Baja men. So yeah, we're gonna take some Jalen Turner in this one. Didn't necessarily have that on my card coming into the show, but I feel pretty good about it. So moving on, co-main event. Just made this one on short notice. It was supposed to be Justin Gaethje and the aforementioned Dan Hooker, but we've got the Fizzy Pop stepping in on short notice, thanking Mr. Justin Gaethje for giving him an opportunity that he allegedly does not deserve. Sean, does he in fact not deserve this opportunity?
I don't know. This is a weird fight. I was on Gaethje. in the first fight. Kind of went how I thought it would. Gaethje a little bit of a slow starter, and then just kind of starts the ball rolling downhill after that. And luckily he got the second round on a couple of the scorecards. But yeah, it's a weird one. Obviously, Gaethje coming back from a brutal knockout. Also had a broken nose in that fight against Holloway. And then you got Fizzy Pop, who tore his ACL and has been out. Yeah, and has been out for what, a year and a half.
One man's in Thailand getting treatment though.
That
matters. Trust me.
It's true.
Thailand is the Turkish hair implants of ACL replacements.
Yeah, they got some cells over there. They can work magic in your limbs.
He's getting all the TLC in more ways than one in Thailand. But yeah, like Gaethje in the Holloway fight, like obviously when he got that spinning back kick to the nose, that was a game changer in that fight. He still had some stretches in that fight where he looked all right, even while he was kind of getting battered. Obviously the finish is the terrifying one.
The fourth round was his best round.
He won the fourth round on all the judges' scorecards.
Yeah, but I just think there's kind of a caveat with that. It's kind of the guy he's fighting too. There's opportunities to look okay against Max if you're a guy like Gaethje. You can hit him. You can hit Max
because Gaethje will take a couple, and Max is gonna throw a couple strikes.
But he did get the four
back. Yep. I think it's gonna be a close fight, just like the first one. There's obviously tons of questions coming into it with the knee injury and the knockout and the broken nose and all that stuff. So I think it's going to be a close fight. I took HG for a unit and a half at plus 135.
Wesley.
Yeah, see, I just think that the way bigger questions are with Gagey at this point. 36. The dude already slurs his words. Literally, he's already punch drunk. Like anybody can listen to that man and already hear him. He is already slurring his words, coming off one of the most devastating knockouts I've ever seen in my life. Maybe the best MMA knockout that we've all witnessed in real time. Like the atmosphere, how it happened, like everything surrounded. That's one of the, it might not be the best, but it's top 3 of one of the best knockouts I've ever seen. Outside of all of that, it was a devastating fucking knockout, man. Like that man got fucking folded, bro. Like face down, ass up, folded. Yeah. It was bad. 36 off of like, not just that knockout, but every single fight that man has. Like the fight with Poirier, the Fiziev fight, like those dudes like beat the shit out of each other, man. Fiziev looked good early in that fight, and I know Gagey's a slow starter, but this is just going to be a fucking boxing match, man. It's going to be a boxing match. It's, do you trust Gagey to hold up? The fight's going to be close. It's probably going to go 15 minutes again. I can't trust Justin Gagey at this point, man. Not seeing all that. I get the plus number. That's enticing, but man, I don't know, man. I like Fizzy here. I just really don't want to lay that juice, and it's climbing now. So I was kind of looking Fiziev decision. I'm not sure what that is now. Yeah, that's plus 225, might be plus 250 in some spots. If I play it, it'll probably be that decision prop because I think this probably goes 15. But man, if somebody's getting stopped at this point, it's Gage. Like Fiziev's jaw is just granted. You question the knee coming back. How's the movement going to be? He's going to need it. But man, if you've seen this guy, have you seen videos of Fiziev and pictures of him? Holy shit, dog. He is fucking oozing. Like that dude is completely jacked. It's crazy. He's always been like ripped and in shape. He looks insane right now. I just trust Fiziev more at this point. Should be another excellent boxing match, though. Should be good.
Yeah, to me, the biggest thing is just we've seen a lot of guys. Nobody quite like Gagey in terms of the amount of consistent violence that he both puts out and takes. But at some point, we've seen all of those guys have their moment where the chin just cracks. And
this has been like cracking it over the past couple years. He's always
gotten hurt.
I know.
He just recovers,
fights, right?
But like at this point, he's slurring after all of this recovery.
Oh, I mean, like he's obviously got brain damage. He was at a bunch of Trump rallies during the election. So
I mean, he hangs out with Krydov and Trump. Like this guy's got his priorities together.
Whoever would have thought that Justin Gagey would be Ali's favorite client. But yeah, I don't know that he's still going to be the fighter that Justin Gagey has always been. And I feel a lot more confident about a dude who's 32, absolutely greased to the gills, coming back from an ACL than a guy that's 36, has been in the most wars of possibly anybody in MMA history, coming back from a brutal knockout from a guy who is naturally a weight class lower than him and doesn't have the heaviest hands in the world to begin with either. So, man, I could see the rest of Gagey's career being very, very sad from
I think you're right,
the moment that Max hit him and put him out until whenever he hangs it up.
He's going to be He's going to be entering like Chuck type territory here, like very, very soon. Like the exact same type of shit.
That's a whole lot more what this feels like to me. The line is kind of keeping me away just because it keeps moving in Fizzy's direction. Obviously, the short notice, which I'm not super concerned about for a 15-minute fight. But yeah, I very much lean towards Fizzy when it comes to this. I think I had him in the first fight too, and obviously lost that one.
Did.
But yeah, despite the circumstances, it feels like I feel more confident in him this time around than I did the first time around. Main event time, light heavyweight division. The only light heavyweight bout on the card. Wow.
Thankfully.
I was going to say, what a promising division. Remember when they would put like a title fight and then like, ooh, here's maybe the guy that the champion's going to fight next further down on the card. They used to do stuff like that, but they can't now because everybody wants to fight. It's too tough.
Used to be 2 promotions loaded with light heavyweights. 2 promotions.
It was for decades.
Yep.
Well, maybe decades. I feel like that's
a decade.
It was the
15 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like the entire Fondy, Shogun, Chuck, Randy, Tito, into John Jones's entire reign. Like it was the premier division of sport for a long, long time. Anyway, now it's light heavyweight. So, but Alex Pereira defending the belt against Magomed Ankalaev. I don't know why that happens to me every time. Sean, can you possibly explain it?
Because you've seen fucking Ankalaev fight. That's the automatic. As soon as you say that word or hear that name, it puts you to sleep. So it's not really surprising. Yeah, Pereira's trying his best in this division. It's a shit show. In 2024/2025.
Honestly, the fact that he has been became champion has been a multiple time defending champion kind of speaks to where the division is at.
Yep. And I mean, even this fight, they didn't want to give Ankalaev this fight. They kind of had to because they didn't really have anything else to give him. I mean, fuck, he had to take this fight during Ramadan.
Well, quote unquote, his Ramadan. You got to throw some quotes up on Ankalaev's Ramadan.
Yeah, he might be shunned here if he gets knocked the fuck out and he turned his back on his religion. I don't know. He might not let him back.
Yeah,
in.
bone saws are coming out. Cried off is sawing some shit.
But yeah, it's an interesting fight because I think this is obviously Pereira's biggest test at 205. Ankalaev, does have some skills, has some okay striking, can grapple, but he doesn't choose to do it. Is he gonna be smart enough to choose to do it here? I don't know, because he just does dumb shit all the time, and it's delayed this title shot for years by him just doing stupid shit and not taking the easiest path. I think if he's smart, he gets inside and takes him down, and then he probably wins. If he fucks around on the feet, he probably gets knocked the fuck out. It's a tough fight to call. I think it's lined fairly correctly. It just depends on what Ankalaev decides to do. What I like in this fight is the fight doesn't go to decision. I think Pereira catches him, or Ankalaev takes him down and smashes him out or subs him on the ground. So I put that in a parlay with the Vance Ruya goes to decision. That's like plus 128. I got the units on that. I will pick and hope for Pereira to knock him the fuck out, and then we don't have to give a shit about Ankalaev ever again.
Jeff, I think that Ankalaev is a coward for declining the bet on the basis of his faith while ignoring the holiest month of his faith for some stupid gold trinket in
To do
a
violence.
made-up fighting promotion. I mean,
Yeah.
do you really love Allah or not, Ankalaev? Come on. I think I'm more Muslim than that dude.
Holy
Wes, go ahead.
Brad's like, I didn't eat any pork today. More Muslim than Ankalaev.
I was in Morocco a couple months ago. Loved it. Fit in with the culture. I think so.
Man. Whew, that's pretty good. I actually love Sean's parlay piece. Either way, this isn't seeing the bill. Man, I've gone back and forth on this fight. It's all just a question be like, is Ankalaev gonna be a dumb fuck? Is Ankalaev gonna stand up and have a kickboxing match with Pereira? Because if he does, he's gonna lose. He's gonna get knocked out eventually. He's gonna get caught. I've thought for a while leading up to the fight to like, man, Pereira's takedown defense has gotten better. Like he could probably keep this up enough and like beat Ankalaev if Ankalaev is fighting a smart fight, trying to get takedowns and shit. But man, the more I think about it, like it's not that good. Like it's not that good if a guy's gonna like act like I know Jan couldn't like implement the game plan as much as he wanted to. But man, like Ankalaev is much better wrestler and getting guys down when he wants to than Jan is. And I just feel like if he wants to win this fight and he's smart enough to do it, he's gonna get takedowns on Pereira, and he could get them consistently to where like he's gonna wear Pereira down and eventually get something on him, ground and pound or something. If he stands up, he's getting knocked out. If he's smart and goes for takedowns, he could win this belt. I don't think it goes 25. I'm leaning Ankalaev, man. I've kind of flipped. I'm leaning Ankalaev now. I think he's going to be smart. I think he's not that dumb to stand with Pereira after everything he's done to all of these dudes that stand with him and eventually get caught. I think he's going to spam takedowns. I think he's going to get them consistently when he does. And it's eventually gonna add up. So I think Ankalaev's gonna get a late stoppage on Pereira here and probably get this belt. And God, I'm gonna be sick. I'm probably gonna puke when it happens. Even if I win money, I'm gonna puke.
Gross. Sean, I've got to disagree with you on one point. You said that this was going to be an interesting fight. It has Ankalaev in it.
Auto, not interesting. Gotcha.
Yeah, just absolutely. Wes, have to disagree with you on several points. I mean, like you're right about Ankalaev being a better wrestler than Pereira, obviously, being a better wrestler than Jan, obviously, having more time to work in this fight and maybe wear Pereira down with takedowns and takedown attempts and just overall being a better offensive grappler. But you guys are missing. He is as dumb as he looks.
Calf kicks till he gets knocked out.
His last 3 fights, he's fought Alexander Rakic and Johnny Walker twice. And in those 3 fights, him and his opponents have the same number of takedown attempts.
0.
He's an idiot. This man is stupid. He's going to stand there and he's going to get knocked out.
I hope you're right.
Conor McGregor's going to do it, guys. He's going to knock out Floyd Mayweather.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Then he's going to fight for the heavyweight TKO title.
But I do kind of think that Ankalaev is way too passive as a fighter to really push takedowns in this fight. Like he'll go in, he'll body lock, he'll do some stuff, but Pereira's good at defending that stuff now. It's actual wrestling that he still struggles with. the body lock shit up against the cage. I think he's got a good handle on that from learning from Glover, training with Glover, being up against that garage door at all times, just doing what you do when you're in the garage. But I think this is going to be like, if Ankalaev came out and he was frantic about getting takedowns, I think this is probably a relatively easy win for him, but that's just not who the dude is. He's going to stand around and, look for an opening and take his time. And eventually this is just going to settle into a kickboxing match. And Pereira's going to do it. He's going to hold on to his belt one more time, hopefully get a knockout, but it would be even more hilarious if this just turns into 25 minutes of striking and Ankalaev's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just here to win it, or here to lose a decision. To a guy that's a way better kickboxer than me.
It really would not shock me if he pulls a yawn and he just stands at distance and throws a couple leg kicks every now and then. I swear it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me if he showed up and did that straight up.
So we'll see. But even if it goes that way, I don't know, like, over under what's going to happen there.
It's a tough fight. It is, man.
It is a tough fight to bet. It's just whatever you feel like is going to happen, you can either bet for it and have the double boost of winning your bet and your pick, or bet against it and have the emotional hedge of the money that you win for the result that you don't want to see. Personally, I just want to see Ankalaev lose because it's one of the more fun things. I mean, it's happened once in MMA and it was incredible. So if Pereira can live up to what the Bear Jew did and what the Bear Jew put Ankalaev through, then, I mean, that's a legend right there.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in fighting. How a guy gives up, like, and not in the quickness of the tap is what made it even better. That man didn't even take a chance to get drowsy. He was like, nope.
1 second left.
1 second. And I mean, the choke went in at like 3 seconds. And he was like, fuck that.
So yeah, if Pereira can do anything close to what the Bear Jew did, then legend status. Absolutely. I will be cheering for Pereira. I don't think I'm gonna have a bet on this fight. If I'm awake for this fight,
that's the big question.
It's a win because this is going down at like what, 2:30 local time for me
in Halifax.
Yeah, maybe 3:30 with the daylight savings. So that's we'll see. Anyway, we took a long time breaking down not a great card, but it feels like it was fun. It was fun. So we're going to leave you folks here with that. We will be back next week, I assume, because there's a card every week, right?
Apex. The warehouse for Delidze versus Vittori 2.
You can't even tell on TV.
You certainly can't tell by the fight cards. So we'll be back to recap this and preview that and all the things that we do here, folks. Have a good one.